1017 mob, tag them. Mud money mob, start tagging these niggas, man. Whole lot of mob shit. Motherfucking president, nigga. Y'all better listen to me. Let's get it.
Green man, 30 on me, big bag, dirty on me. Yo ho, working on me. My niggas murking, homie. Hit his ass, laser tag, 50 round drum. 100 round drum. Mop him up when the time comes. Mask on, mask off. Big dog, big boss. You broke your loss. Like a tiger nigga, yeah ho. Green man doing numbers. I got hitters, I got runners. We gon' tag them by them commas. Yeah.
30 days straight, I've been trapping. Look what happened. Bitch, I'm acting. I know about your baby mama, she get naked. Gotta tell them to chill. The younger with me, why that action? I be in the dungeon with dragons, hot boy shit. Demons and ashes, 80 baby shit. Dope boy magic. You smell the gas through the plastic. Smoking on rust. I'm trying to stuff every gram in the blunt. Asking, this ain't what you want. That laser gon' make a bitch nigga freeze. He hit my line on a Wednesday. Saying the playoff for Thursday. He coming back on a Friday. Asking why I didn't serve him. Boy, that little money ain't worth it. Me and you was the fee and the purpose. The president meaning I'm the plug. You lucky to see me in person, bitch. Hey, had to put the campaign on furlough. You know they be working shit. Ain't come for no problem, but shut up your partner. My youngin' be murking shit. Yeah, I taught him how to go get a pad. Flip the shit and make it flip again. Talking about she can do better than me. I tell that bitch, handle your business then. I'm a business and a businessman. I'm the reason why you say your baby daddy got a brand new dental plan. All the knocked out the middleman. Mud money, what I represent. Cause we got it out the mud, nigga. 1017 mile with us. Face shaking, I don't fuck with you. 30 days I was quarantined in the trap setting up plays, nigga. Glizzy louder than some barber clippers. I ain't gonna shoot the fade with you. Fujiana got smoke, I'ma make a call, send a couple grave diggers. He got WAP on the line telling me to chill, but they shouldn't have played with us on day. 30 days straight, I've been trapping. Look what happened. Bitch, I'm at it. I know about your baby mama, she getting nasty. Gotta tell them to chill. The younger with me, by that action. I be in the dungeon with dragons, hot boy shit. Demons and ashes, 80 baby shit, dope boy magic. You smell the gas through the plastic. Smoking on runs. I'm trying to stuff every gram in the blood. Asking, this ain't what you want. That laser gon' make a bitch nigga freeze.
I grew up thuggin' muggin' on the block, pussy with them same niggas. Wreck round women every day, he got a big pistol, wig splitter. Pussy nigga on the net saying he a real killer. Nigga, bitch. Seen his ass in person, nigga did the real thriller. Pussy nigga. I been round there, well, by myself serving with a Drake. 1017 ice on me, try to take it, shoot you in the face. Yeah, get him gone, bags in, bags out, chop. Julia hit my phone, say he got a country boy, I need to come tag. Yeah, I hit the road, AMG S550, hit the gas. Pull up, so the nigga grab, yeah, hit the gas, he was mad. But I don't really give a fuck, I'm with the mob and pussy nigga on the boss. Ho, one call, I call Cream, he gon' come through and knock a nigga off. Jill told me don't do it, but I gotta get to a nigga raw. Ho, all the mud moving slow, yeah, real slow, nigga like a slow bitch. Pussy nigga try to diss me, can't diss me, boy it's soft. Wop said don't play with nobody, fool, you better kill them all. Ho,
30 days straight, I've been trapping. Look what happened. Bitch, I'm at it. I know about your baby mama, she getting nasty. Gotta tell them to chill. The younger with me, by that action. I be in the dungeon with dragons, hot boy shit. Demons and ashes, 80 baby shit, dope boy magic. You smell the gas through the plastic. Smoking on runs. I'm trying to stuff every gram in the blood. Asking, this ain't what you want. That laser gon' make a bitch nigga freeze. Tagging.
One just tell me, yeah. One just tell me. All day. Yeah. One just tell me, yeah. Yeah. One just tell me. You put the pressure on me. I see you're afraid to love me now. With all the things you believed, it's made your past so ugly now. We can't be friends. Give me your hand. Your love again. Just show me how this doesn't end. I'm here again. You want forever. Hold me. We go through the motions till the energy's up. I give you all my time till I'm not giving enough. If I could take my heart away like all my feelings was up, it would be easy, but I really can't be giving this up. We go through the motions till the energy's up. I give you all my time till I'm not giving enough. If I could take my heart away like all my feelings was up, it's never easy when it's love, so I'm not giving you up. But tonight, me see your fear, me feel you push away from me. Teach me how to love you. and you're lovely. Give me a chance, don't cut me out. Save me a dance, give me your hand. Make me a man, love me down. You wanna win, you've never had. Soon as I'm in, I'll turn you. We go through the motions till the energy's up. I give you all my time, so I'm not giving enough. If I could take my heart away like all my feelings was up, it would be easy, but I really can't be giving this up. We go through the motions till the energy's up. I give you all my time, still I'm not giving enough. If I could take my heart away like all my feelings was up, it's never easy when it's love, so I'm not giving you up. But still like, me see your fear, me feel your push away from me. Teach me how to love. You are just right, you and me alike. And girl, you got to stay around me, yeah. Baby, if you want more love, one just tell me, yeah. Me never I can say it's too much. Be too ready, yeah. More love, I won't let your heart break. Mr. Sunday morning, make it easy for your hard day. Gotta learn to feel again, we gon' do it our way. Put myself all over you, wrap you up in Star K. Want more, you ain't gotta come for. It's already done for, even dropping encore. You've been on a hunt for somebody to make you feel differently. 2020 vision, it's a different me, yeah, yeah. Me see your fear, me feel your push away from me. Teach me how to love. You are just right, you and me alike. And girl, you got to stay around me, yeah. Baby, if you want more love, one just tell me, yeah. Me never I can say it's too much. Don't hold back. Don't hold back now, yeah.
Hey, 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 how y'all doing? Let me get this adjusted. I don't know what stream y'all got going on, y'all. But this is Miss Lissha, y'all. Welcome to I'm gonna try this one more time, y'all. Stream y'all keep kicking me. All right, let's see if it kick us out again. Welcome to Hardcore Grind, y'all. Powered by Let's Chat. So Hardcore Grind is on the Let's Chat network. Hold on. Let's see what they got going on here with the stream. All right, y'all. It's always more than one way to skin a cat. I don't know what's going on, but we can't keep the stream up that way. So I got on my phone. Welcome to Hardcore Grind. I am the fabulous Lissha Sadler. I have my fabulous guest in here, honey. We're going to talk with author, the fabulous founder of the Sneaker Ball, and author Keisha Smith. She's going to come in and talk with us. Y'all, I'm so excited. So much going on. Thank you for everybody that supported Hardcore Grind. Hardcore Grind is powered by Let's Chat Radio. That is our network. So if you would like to be on the Let's Chat network with your podcast as well, come on over. Me and Miss Tony would be glad to assist you. Just send your request to the chat radio show at gmail.com. I'm going to bring our fabulous guest on in here.
Hi, how are you?
I can't hear you. You got your mic on?
Yes, it's on.
Hold on.
Can you hear me?
And you can hear me?
Yes.
And I can't hear you. Hold on. Okay, y'all, let me get this fixed. We're going to take a brief break and we will be right back.
Hey, listen here, little young punk. What's your name? It's a rail. What name? Want rap? Get some rap music. Why don't you get a job, man? Get a job, all right? You hear this out there with you?
Every day away, it feels like I can't take a break. I'm just living my life. Yeah, I'm just living my life. Yeah. Please don't take it personal. You work for me, but I work for you. I'm just living my life. Yeah, I'm just living my life.
Live my life to the fullest with no regrets. Learning from my mistakes, everyone I'm trying to perfect. Nobody is perfect, that's walking the surface. Many pretend to be, it's a cover, they hurt and listen. Many project they fears, holding back others. Trying to control your life, that's the gravy that keep you smothered. Praying that you will fail, so can't make it to where they couldn't. Gotta keep on pushing, not go and keep their assistance, we gone. Expressing liberties, not being stature. Always moving feet first, never ass backwards. Hard enough being black, that's just extra baggage. Been enslaved for many years, mentally we dead. With all the scrutiny, euthanize my community. Exercise my immunity, put an end to this foolery. Watch the way I'm maneuvering, system designed for you and me to fail. We gon' get it right, time will tell.
Every day away, it feels like I can't take a break. I'm just living my life. Yeah, I'm just living my life. Please don't take it personal. You work for me, but I work for you. I'm just living my life. Yeah, I'm just living my life.
Back up on that tip again. See your sun shining, mama know I'm about to get it in. Yes, I'm still alive, thanking God that I'm breathing in. I done been let down, counted out, miscount. Calculating these losses, they see me winning. I've been painting these pictures from the beginning. Just been dropping you out, doubted the vision. Your hate cost you the love that I was given. So judgmental, but mentally needed help. Correcting another life when yours is still in debt. But check, I respect, life isn't the best. Giving the bad hand, play the cards that you was dealt. I feel you, but for real, we could've got it together. You were just for yourself, and now I'm moving for self. In the system designed for us to fail. Will we get it together? Only time will tell. I'm out.
Every day away, it feels like I can't take a break. I'm just living my life. Yeah, I'm just living my life. Yeah. Please don't take it personal. You work for me, but I work for you. I'm just living my life. Yeah, I'm just living my life. Yeah.
We're gonna live your life then. I guess you don't need my help. Hey, pull your pants up. All that rap shit. Pull my back. You don't do it right. Oh, you got the best in your music. That would make you different, huh? Yeah, maybe I am better. So what? Yeah, maybe I am better. So what?
All right. So can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear
But I
you.
can't hear you. This is so frustrating. Hold on, y'all.
If I'm on my laptop,
I'm talking upstate hustle, move around here, then you better have a muscle. I'm talking upstate hustle, move around here, then you better have a muscle. I'm talking upstate hustle, move around here, nigga better have a muscle. I'm talking upstate hustle, move around here, nigga better have a muscle. As I ride through the 7-1, if you from the outside, you should never come, or you may never leave. You in the belly where them felons squeeze, and them felons are forever scheme. Young homie wanna rhyme, but it's just a dream. That's how we feel as he stand over the triple beam. Lost soul, he done switched up his goal. He'd rather switch to 36 of the moles and hit the strip of the pros. Urban entrepreneurs, niggas who wanna lead the streets but couldn't conquer the law. Glitter and glam, who's grinning from ear to ear. Who need the rap game when the fame is here? Right here, in a region where it's literally freezing. Every other block is a strip full of heathen. Squeeze in, believe them, they really be scheming. And you ain't gotta give them a reason. Bet that. I'm talking upstate hustle. Move around here, then you better have a muscle. I'm talking upstate hustle. Move around here, then you better have a muscle. I'm talking upstate hustle. Move around here, nigga better have a muscle. I'm talking upstate hustle. Move around here, nigga better. I'm from a place where little shorties get turned out. They on wash, burn, washed up and burnt out. The block burn, niggas are shirked out, and we ain't too much concerned about the dirt route. Shit, cause it's second nature. They wouldn't teach us, so G's had to educate us. Now we misled dreams of that heavy paper. Nobody told us that the D's are hop out and take us. Cage us, let us free, but we still on paper. Hard-headed, blowing trees till they violate us. And it's a sad circle. I feel the hills, I'm on the back of purple. Ride through a region where them cats are murky. They won't spare you. Nobody can prepare you for the feeling that you feel when the goons start to air you. Talking, but they don't wanna hear you. It's over. If I was you, I'd be scared too. I'm talking upstate hustle. Move around here, then you better have a muscle. Yeah, I'm talking upstate hustle. Move around here, nigga better have a muscle. Yeah. 716-585-315. Upstate, Western New York.
All right, so let's try this one more time. We are back. We are back. I had some technical difficulty, child. I do not know, but we back in the building. StreamYard. I don't know. I was trying to work around it, but I appreciate y'all holding on in there for me. We got the fabulous Keisha Smith in the building. We got her book. Y'all got to see that. Y'all, listen, she's so dope in real life. And she is the founder of the Sneaker Ball, which was a fabulous event that I went to. She's a visionary. And I love her philanthropy, just the things that she wants to do. So we're going to bring her back in here to talk that talk with us.
Hey,
I hear you now. I had to work around that. The devil thought he was going to have us, but he ain't have us today.
Girl, and I was trying to send you a message and be like, hey, if you need me to log in from my phone, I could try that as well, because I know how it is with technology. It works when it doesn't work.
You know what? Sometimes, stuff just be happening, and we gotta try to work around it, and we gotta try to go with it, and see how to get things in order the way we need it to be. So that's okay. We are here now. I want you to tell everybody just a little bit about yourself, your literary journey, and your brand.
Oh my goodness. So I'm Keisha Smith. I'm the author of Where Silent Secrets Lie. I am a serial entrepreneur. I have a cosmetic line by the name of Flawed and Beautiful. I'm also a tax preparation expert. With a list tax solution, we focus on small business tax preparation as well as bookkeeping. I am the founder of Crown for Purpose nonprofit organization. That's my baby. And we serve at-risk women and youth of Metro Atlanta and Southeast Mississippi. I know you said last time we talked, I'm like, girl, the list has gotten long.
But you know what? Listen, when she first came on, she came on Let's Chat, y'all. And when she first came on the show, she had this platform, and she was just starting everything, and she was like, I just want to come here on the show and talk, y'all. She came on the show and she turned it on out. But the best part about Keisha is every time I see her, every time you see her, she is adding to her vision. She's pushing it forward and adding more elements, adding more elements, and adding more elements. She has a drive that a lot of people don't have. We always are trying to get that multiple stream of income. We
Mhm.
always are trying to be able to do what we want to do and then do what we need to do at the same time. As entrepreneurs, a lot of people struggle with that when it comes to building a brand. So you have done that and you have added on to that. We always talk about a goal moment, and a goal moment is when thought and execution come together. A lot of times, and we talked about this at the event, a lot of times we're really mindful about how we pour into other people, how we treat other people, how they treat themselves. But when we talk to ourselves and we deal with ourselves, we deal in lack and frustration. And we give up real fast. We don't have time. I can't do this. I can't, we talk ourselves out of so many things that God has really downloaded into our spirit to do. What was your goal moment like when you decided to, because you're gonna have many. So when you decided to say, this is what I'm getting ready to do and I'm gonna make it happen.
Okay. Look, that's almost a loaded question for me. So I would say my goal moment was when I transitioned from Mississippi to Georgia. And that's when I started Flawed and Beautiful. And my goal moment was when I had a lot of women reaching out to me, not knowing me, don't know my story, but a lot of women reaching out to me about their experience with sexual abuse. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, well, what am I going to do with this? And of course, that's how Crown for Purpose was birthed. And I, of course, I published my book, Where Silent Secrets Lie. But it was like, it was so many people, so many women that were
Mm-hmm.
survivors, and they were suffering in silence and looking for an answer or a way to be able to move forward. So my goal moment was like, all right, I'm sending them your way. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to help them? And it was like, feet to the ground, no turning back.
I know that's right. Now, you always say they didn't know your story. Tell everybody a little bit about your backstory for those that don't know.
I'm a sexual assault survivor. I was raped and molested from the ages of 8 to 18 by family members, both male and female, a school bus driver, and a classmate. So, over that 10-year span, I experienced abuse multiple times, dealt with a lot of trauma, childhood trauma, mommy issues because of my abuse.
Oh goodness. And see, and I almost say, y'all, we keep saying we talked a little bit about this because we did at her event. It was like a powwow of four, and we just were really talking and just kind of pouring into each other. It was a fabulous experience. But when you go through that and you have to unpack and be able to heal yourself, what is that process like for you? Because you had to do two things. You had to heal and
Mhm.
then you had to walk through it again. So we want to go through the healing process. What was that like for you?
My healing, like most people, it was a little bit different. My journey was not what I thought or expected it to be. And it came from a lot of journaling, therapy, having supportive family and friends around me. But the hardest part of my journey was actually being able to stand in my truth and own it and
Mhm.
stop worrying about other people being uncomfortable because they were partakers in what happened. So it was like
Yeah,
I had to stop walking on eggshells. My story is my story. And if you're uncomfortable, you're uncomfortable. That has nothing
that's
to do
right.
with me. So being able to get in a place of transparency with myself was a really huge part of my healing process.
Absolutely. And then as you moved on and you decided to sit down, you decided to start this this movement, because I'm gonna call it a movement because that's what it is. You
Okay.
wrote this book, so you had to go back and relive some of those things. What was that like for you when you had to go and kind of go back through it after you went through your healing process? So you felt, because sometimes we get those triggers and
Hmm.
those things that trigger us back in. And a lot of people say a trigger, oh, it's a word. No, a trigger is something that brings you back to that same place, even
Right.
though you might feel healed from something. But once something has triggered it, you're back there again. And it could be anything. So you're writing this book, you got this movement, you have all these women that are looking for you to help them through. What was that like for you as you build and had to reheal?
So, ironically for me, when I wrote my book, I didn't realize I was actually writing my story. I had just lost my daughter. I was at home on my year 6 weeks recovery, and I just was journaling and not even really giving it any thought of what I was writing or what I was doing. I was in grief. I had a lot of emotion going on, and I just really started writing. As far as me writing it, it wasn't a trigger for me. It was like, wow. It's different when you saying it, but when you're actually writing it and putting it in paper, it's like, wow, I survived all of this. And it's like, it's just a wow moment. And I wrote it. I sat on it for years before I even published it or did anything with it. I let a couple of people read it, and they were like, "This is good. You should publish." And I'm like, "Nah, this is personal. It was part of it was healing for me." But when it comes to the triggers, and it's funny because I just had this conversation a couple of nights ago. When it comes to triggers, triggers can be different. I recall my first trigger. It was a couple of years after I got married, and I was triggered because I was driving on my way home, and I looked to my right at the store at the stop sign was a truck I got raped in. I hadn't seen that truck since the day
What?
or anything. So that at that moment, of course, I started panicking and feeling like I was literally about to lose it in the car. And
Mhm.
first thing I did was picked up the phone and called my husband and told him what was going on with my ex-husband my ex-husband now. But I called him and I told him what was going on, and he was like, just get home, or I'll come to you. But when it comes to triggers, even triggers can be something as simple as a smell, it can be a taste, it can be a sound, um, it can be a color. So for me, I have learned how to cope and deal with my triggers. So when I'm triggered, I know how to handle those situations and realize it's just a memory, but you have to own it in that space and just acknowledge it because it's a memory and you're going to forever have that memory, but it's being able to understand and move forward with that trigger or that memory.
Absolutely. And there's a lot that happens in grief.
Hmm.
And so when you're grieving and you have to kind of go through life. My mom, she passed in 2016, and I felt like maybe for 4 years I was walking the earth, but I was empty. You know what I'm saying? And so, there when it's grief and trauma together, it's really hard. It's really hard to be able to just be you every day. And it's funny because you always have a smile on your face. Always. Y'all, when I say she always got a smile on her face, she probably could be stressed out, still smiling. It's all right. How y'all doing? Y'all want something to eat? So, and that's the best part of you. You know what I'm saying? That's what draws people into you. Now, you had that first trigger, but how did that grieving and that trauma, do you think that affected your marriage at the time?
No, I don't think it affected well, I take that back. It wasn't like a negative impact on
Mhm.
my marriage, even with the passing of our daughter. It was more so, it brought us maybe closer and it made me um, more patient with myself because
Mhm.
at the time, we still have all these responsibilities. Even in my grief, I still had other children,
Yeah.
but I was trying to make sure everybody else was good. But in that moment,
Mhm.
it was like, okay, you need to step back and just focus and be patient with yourself. Give yourself grace. And acknowledge and understand, allow yourself to go through the emotions. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be happy, because it's an emotional roller coaster ride. 1 minute you may be smiling and laughing and in a good mood, and then next thing you
Right.
know, it's like the whole world has just came tumbling down on you. So it's giving yourself grace and permission in those moments.
Absolutely. And I think, especially as women, we don't give ourselves grace enough. We
Mhm.
don't allow ourselves to feel what we need to feel. And we can't say it's because other people don't allow us to feel that way. I think as women, sometimes we voluntarily give our voice away,
Ooh.
because we got to be mom, we got to be this, we got to be that, we got to be that. We voluntarily give our voice away so many times just because we have to be that strong figure. I strongly believe that the mother is the backbone of every family. She holds everything together. And so we don't have that luxury of not being okay even when we're not okay. You
Right.
know, and I love you telling your story, because you showed how, you know, a woman can be, but you said I have to give myself grace. We don't do that. We don't stop and kind of talk ourselves through things.
Mhm.
We just kind of brush it to the side and keep moving. And in that giving yourself grace, and you had all these women that just needed you, what was that because that was another go moment. What was that go moment for you at that instance to pull everything together, start your nonprofit, right, put your book out? What was that moment like for you?
Whew, that moment was stressful. I'm just being honest and transparent. A lot of times when people are coming to us, it's because they see something in us. They
That's right.
see a part of them or something about us that attracts them to us. And so in those moments, you have to remain humble. And
Hmm.
even with women coming to me, I'm like, hey, I don't have it all together. Some of this I'm still figuring it out. But what I do know, I don't mind sharing and helping you. It's a process. So it's allowing yourself to be vulnerable, again, being patient with yourself. And when those people are coming, just assuring them, like, hey, you're not by yourself. We will figure this out together. I don't have all the answers. I don't know everything, but
Hmm.
this is what worked for me. It may not work for you, but it's worth a try. And that's another thing. A lot of times when we are going through our journey, we just assume because it worked for us, it's going to work for everybody
So,
else.
yeah.
And sometimes that's not the case. So you have to set the expectation and let them know that it may work for you. You may have to tweak it a little bit. You may have to, spend a little bit more time
That's
in
right.
a area. And for me, with the women coming to me, I do have a mentorship program, and it's called the Purposeful Experience. And one of the first steps in that program is forgiveness. And it's not so much of forgiving the abuser or, the person that done something to you. You first got to forgive yourself, because a lot of times we hold ourselves accountable. We let grief, or not grief, we let guilt, shame, and embarrassment hold us hostage. And it's like, you are not responsible for somebody else's actions. So a lot of times I am not their favorite person. And I tell them I may not be your favorite person, but again, I'm going to help you get through this process. And it starts with forgiveness.
Absolutely. It's so funny that you said that, because I just had a conversation with somebody the other day talking about bondage and how we bind ourselves. And we bind ourselves to, not only do we bind ourselves to our grief and we bind ourselves to our trauma, we find comfort in that bondage at the same
Mhm,
time.
mhm.
And then when you're bound, it's really hard to move forward. Now, anytime you want to change and move forward, your mind got to go with it. But
Right.
if you in bondage at the top, it's hard. How do you help them to unpack that and unbind their mind so that they can move forward and be able to start their healing process?
At first, I would be honest with yourself, acknowledging your emotions, acknowledging what has happened. A lot of times we live in denial. We don't want to
Hmm.
acknowledge anything. So
That's
that's
right.
again part of the first step. So sometimes we, get a piece of paper. Let's write it all down. I think one of the questions, my babies are coming upstairs or downstairs.
That's okay.
One of the questions I asked in part of the program is, what happened? Who did what to you? because a lot of times when we can identify, well, this person did this and this happened and this happened, and then when you're looking at it, you're like, okay, not to say that it's not of value, but it's like, okay, let's go down. Now, what did you do to yourself?
Mm-hmm. And you're right about that. I was in this, I told you about the anthology I was in. So it was called The Breaking Point. And I talked about how, we always expect other people to have us,
Mm-hmm.
and we start to feel abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking about my divorce and things in my life, and I'm like, I was abandoned, but I was abandoned by myself. We
Mm-hmm.
abandon ourselves so many times and then be like somebody else did it. No, you had to do it first. So I'm glad that that is something that you said, because it's so true. We will abandon ourselves so many times in so many different situations, and it's hard for us to get through and make stuff happen, because it's like, how do we get over that? And again, like you said, we have to learn how to forgive ourselves. So now you're moving on. You decide, you got your nonprofit going, and you wanted to do this sneaker ball. Tell us about the sneaker ball and what was your vision behind it.
So the sneaker ball was an event that we have been trying to get going ever since like the beginning of COVID, like 2020. And because of COVID, we always was like, "Ah, we can't do it because of all the restrictions." So this year I was like, you know what, we're gonna do it. We may have to minimize a lot of details of it, but we're gonna do it. So April's Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And the theme was walk a mile in my shoes. Thought it was a perfect theme. But the overall goal was not so much just to bring awareness of sexual abuse, but to also provide shoes for the kids for the upcoming school year. Although with sexual abuse, we deal with shame, we deal with embarrassment. Some of us suffer from low self esteem. I wanted to do something to give back to help the kids, because a lot of times they are bullied at school because
That's right.
not having nice shoes or clean clothes and different things like that. And sometimes it's definitely out of their control because they're not their providers. So to help the kids with building their confidence and getting them off to a good start for school, we wanted to provide students with shoes for the upcoming school year.
Absolutely. Now, when you sat down, you started creating this event, and did you expect it to turn out the way it did? Because that event, let me tell you, I went into the beauty supply, and I was like, I gotta get such and such and such. I gotta get this, this, and this. I'm going to this thing. And she was like, what you going to? And I said, I'm going to a sneaker ball. She said, is it the walk of my, I mean, like, she was like, somebody just left. She was like, somebody just left. They was going to the same thing. Did you expect it to get as big as it was?
No, and the crazy thing is, I was trying to keep it small. And my event planner, she was like, "Are you sure? You're gonna need a bigger venue." And I'm like, "No, no, no. This is gonna be big enough. This is gonna be fine." And when we got to the event, she was like, I told you so. Next year we're gonna expand, but I did not expect for it to be that big. I'm just thankful that it was a success. I'm thankful for the donations, for the kids going back to school. So when I sat back like this week and I just reflected on it, I was like, it's a great thing to know that people support your cause. And again, it was, as you saw, it was a lot of men in the building. So it wasn't like just for all women. There were
Right.
men there supporting, their significant other, or just supporting the cause. So I was very, very surprised, to say the least.
Now, see, this I'm how the system I'm with you. Now, you don't do nothing small. Your spirit not even small. Why would you? I mean, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have a small spirit. You don't have a small voice. So anything you do, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big, and it's gonna be and it's not that it might be a big venue, but it's gonna be big because your spirit is big, and you going to enhance whatever it is that you got going on. It's gonna always enhance and be bigger than
Mhm.
what you have right here, because you have such an awesome vision. You work really hard to pull it together. You work really hard, even when you stressing. You always got a smile on your face. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. Now you got your book. I
Yes.
got my copy. Now this was part of your journal, but what did you learn about yourself in writing this book?
I learned that I am a heck of a woman. And I say that in humility, but I learned that no matter what I was faced with during that time, I was determined to not allow it to change me,
Mhm.
who I was. And it actually, and I'm sure you probably already read the book, and I don't want to go into like a lot of details of the book. But when I sat back and just reflected, I'm like, I'm a survivor, not just because of the sexual abuse, just everything that transpired in that book. It's like you won't allow anything to stop you. You're the only person that can stop you. And
Mhm.
that's my takeaway from the book and just in life in general. Like if you can go through all of this and still have a drive about yourself, then you really are unstoppable.
Absolutely. And a black woman that can write, a woman is in general is strong, but a black woman that can write is a very powerful person. What does that power mean for you?
Um, being I for one, I enjoy writing. And I do consider writing to be like a superpower because it's your story, it's your words, it's your voice.
Mhm.
And the power is nobody can take that away from you. You can stand in it in your truth all day long
Yeah.
and own it comfortably. So to me, just being a writer in itself is powerful. It's a superpower.
And building your brand, you have multiple brands that you have built and are that are flourishing. What would be, I would say, five key things you think are essential in building a brand?
I would say being authentic
Mhm.
first, creating an experience, not only for your existing clients, but new clients to come. I'm big on customer service. I'm big on being a woman of my word,
Mhm.
and being honest, operating in integrity. A lot of times people say they're going to do something, they don't do it. So, customer service, follow up, being authentic. Um, I lost my train of thought.
That's okay.
But I'll stick with those. But it's business, and again, I have multiple business. All of them are different, but one thing that is consistent across the board is my care and my dedication to being the best that I can and providing the best solutions for my clients.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, what do you see? What is next? What is next for your vision? What do you have? I know, cause see, you know how you go on Thanksgiving, you go to your mama house or your grandmama house, and you got everybody in the kitchen and all these pots on the stove, and you like, ooh, that smell good. What's over there? That's
Mhm.
Keisha. I'm sorry, y'all. It is. Uh-huh. She like a whole kitchen going, every pot on the stove. What you got? I know what you got cooking because I know you got something good going.
I am so tickled because I really do. So my next two projects, what I'm currently working on is it's called the Bosses Academy, and it's interactive online business courses for new and existing business owners. It's set out to be different. Um, we focus on customer service, leadership, pricing strategies. Owning your brand story. That's my newest baby. I'm excited about it. I'll be launching it in August, but it's gonna be good. And outside of that, I have a property management company, so I am transitioning over to real estate just to tap in just a little bit. But those are the two upcoming projects.
Just a little bit for now. Just a
Yeah,
little bit for
for
now.
now.
That's okay. So you have all of these things going on. You are building bosses. You are a boss. How do you balance everything? You're a mom. You're getting ready to get married again. Like, how do you balance and keep yourself balanced?
Oh, honey. Um, I take For one, I'm big on prioritizing. So although I have multiple business, first off, I don't do everything by myself. I can't say that I do. I have a wonderful support team. I have people that work with me that are awesome. They make me look good. But we work together as a team. When it comes to me balancing life, one day at a time. I definitely take my off days. I believe in a work life balance, even though we just came supposedly out of tax season. I have clients still text me 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock at night, and I just look at my phone. It's on Do Not Disturb, and it stay on Do Not Disturb until the next day business hours. So it's just prioritizing and doing a lot of self care and taking care of me, making sure I'm, balanced when it comes to spending time with the kids and getting them in their extracurricular activities. I prioritize definitely.
So you have like do you have like the planner where you have like, okay, I got do you color coordinate it? It's like this is like all the tabs.
I'm about to knock everything off my desk. This is my planner. And I'm a writer, so I don't care how much I put it in my calendar on my phone. If it's not in this black book, it is not valid to me. I will, because we'll look at our phones and be like, oh, okay, just another notification. But when I put it in my planner, I hold myself accountable for it. I don't color coordinate. Today is today. This is what I need to get done. And I have a to-do list, of course, in it, and I write down everything I need to do for that week. And then I look at the times, what times work, what time I have consultations and all this stuff. And I just plug and play and make it make sense. But I definitely, between 9 and 4, I, put certain tasks in place. And then that next day, I don't try to do everything in one day because that's impossible. So it's just planning, proper planning.
And y'all, this book, y'all got to get it because not only is it gonna make you cry, but it opens you up to yourself as well. Do you have any events surrounding your book? A book release party? Anything that with everybody want to be able to come and support you in your book?
Unfortunately, I do not. I am working to hopefully get book 2 ready. So there is nothing, no events or anything coming up as far as that book, as far as where Silent Secrets lie. But there's a part 2, and hopefully I'll have it ready by the end of this year.
Okay.
I'll keep you posted when it's getting ready to be released. Definitely.
I know you will. Now, if anybody wants to contact you, if anybody wants to be part of your movement, what do they need to do? Like you got people that's like, listen, this is a movement that I want to be part of. This is something that I want to definitely bless. What do they need to do?
Of course, social media is the quickest way to reach any of us now. But my Facebook handle is I am Keish Smith, and it has 1 H. And on IG is I am Keish with 2 H's Smith. But I'm not hard to find. If you type in Where Silent Secrets Lie or any of the Flawed and Beautiful or Crime for Purpose, I'll pop up. I'm not hard to locate at all.
All right. Well, I so appreciate you sharing your time, your space, and your energy. You keep doing what you're doing. You do so much, and keep adding on those elements. I want you to take those bold steps in the dark. Don't be afraid to add on all those things that's in your head. That's what you're supposed to do. Just do it.
Yes, ma'am. I will. Look, note to self. I got permission now. So when I'm moving, I'm like, hey, this is what I'm doing.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You'd be like, listen, I got this thing going on. This what I need you to do. And I call that a community asset. So when I did Visions and Books, that was my book event. That's my book event that I do. And we give back to schools. I want to be able to bless the kids. But everything with schools is so all over the place. We thought about community programs and businesses, and so we had 2 community assets, and I want to get you in contact with one of them. I just think you'd be a great element, and I'd be Girls Who Brunch with Nicola Mitchell, and I think that would be a good something good for you. So I'm gonna get y'all connected on that. But yeah, you definitely a community asset, you know, because you are doing what's needed for the community to bring everybody in and everything in order and together. And we appreciate you for that. You know, sometimes when you're working hard and you building, you don't hear the appreciation. Sometimes you don't feel appreciated, but you are. You really are.
And you know, we appreciate you. And I'll be in contact because we are doing the back to school shoe drive. So once everything is finalized, I'll definitely send you the details.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, I appreciate you. And you know, you always, this is home. So you just anytime like, I got something on my spirit I want to talk about. Okay. We sure can. What day you want to do that? We will make it happen for you.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you, Keisha. I love you. You have a great rest of your day.
Love you too. Thank you.
You Y'all, she is so great, honestly. This book, y'all, let me tell y'all. Everything just to understand as a from a young girl to a grown, you know, to a woman going into being a woman. It's their experience, her experiences, and how she laid it out. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, y'all, we will see y'all on next week. We will be talking that talk with some of the fabulous authors that are part of the Breaking Point. Thank y'all. Sorry for all. I don't know what was going on, y'all. With the, I don't know. I opened up a second screen. It closed up, and I said, "Well, no, I'm just gonna open up the one screen." But it all worked out. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for always supporting me. And I will see you on next week. Good night, y'all.